everybody. Hi, I'm Jan, and I'm with Dreams in Color. How are you doing today? Thank you so much for coming back. This is video 4. The previous video is on meditating, and I suggest that you might want to watch that before you watch this, because this is kind of a continuation. All my videos are kind of a continuation, so of course it would be ideal if you started with number 1 and went on through. And if you followed me through each video, then you're caught up. You don't have to, but I think it would make more sense anyway. Today I want to talk about manifesting the things that you want in life and being happy. Now let's all be honest. We all want things: new cars, new home, that nice vacation, extra money, just not having to be stressed about anything, and just have peace of mind, have happiness, not feeling stressed that you're just living day to day, week to week, check by check. I want that too. So I started checking things, different ideas out. First, of course, as I told you before, I started with meditating, and it just kind of opened the doors to everything else. I just can't tell you all the things that I've discovered. Well, I am. That's why I'm doing videos. But it started with meditating, and then I started learning that as I meditated, it opened doors to all these other things, and I started learning about all these other things. Well, of course, what caught my eye was manifesting. When they started talking about, in all these videos, saying, manifest anything that you want in life. You can have anything that you want when you manifest. I was like, okay, I'm in. That's what I want. I'm sure you feel the same way. So I was like, okay, just let me know how I get there. Whatever I've got to do, just let me know. Well, I started researching. I started watching videos, and I started getting into the whole thing. So as I've told you in previous videos, part of the reason for my videos is for me to research, me to check everything out, check out what works, what doesn't work, what is real, what isn't real, and to save you a lot of time, energy, and money. So I'm going to share with you today how I found out how to make this happen and what you've got to do to get there. Because the bottom line is that's all everybody wants to know anyway. Well, obviously it starts with meditating. The other thing that you need to know is it's about getting rid of the negative and bringing in positive. Think of it as a full cup of water, that it's full of negative. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to drain that negativity, which is why you meditate, is to get rid of the negativity to make room for positivity. You also want to raise your consciousness, because when you raise your consciousness level, the higher that you get and the happier you are, and the more positive aura and the more positive energy that you have, the easier that it is to manifest. The easier it is to do it, the faster it works, and the more things that you get. It's kind of like the universe is saying, this is what you need to do. If you do what I ask you to do, I'll reward you with what you want. I mean, basic theory to life, the way anything in life works. So, to raise your consciousness, it's all about getting rid of negative emotions. It's all about you. Because obviously, you can't control other people. You can only control yourself. You can't change other people. You can't stop the way they act, the way they talk, the way they treat you, the things they do. All you can do is control how you react to it. So that is the basic theory. Now, negative energy and negative feelings and thoughts and words are things like anger, jealousy, resentment, rebelliousness, wanting to get back at people, revenge. Anything negative has to stop. I mean, that's the bottom line. And I got to tell you right up front, this is one of the hardest things I've ever done. It truly is one of the hardest things I've ever done, but it's also one of the best things that I've ever done. Because number one, you're in control. So when you learn what you have to do and you do it, you are in control. You're really in control of you, and you're in control of other people. They don't know it, and at first it doesn't seem like that, but it is in fact true. Another way that I like to look at it is I look at it like this is a game, because it's something you have to consciously work on every day, because it's really hard to do. And it's really hard. I think they say you have to do something for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days before it comes naturally to you. I believe that, because I have to work at it every day. And some days work better than other. I gotta tell you. I live with my kids right now, and I'm used to living on my own without them. All my kids are grown, and they're used to living on their own without me. Well, we all had financial issues. Nobody had a car. One thing or another has happened. My oldest daughter only had a car that was on its last leg. So we all decided to get together and get this 4-bedroom apartment for 6 months to a year to let everybody save money and get a car and get on their feet financially, and then everybody split again. Well, I tell you, it is really difficult when everybody's used to living on their own and doing as they please and not having to consider everybody else. And then you put 8 people together in a house, because I have 4 children that my daughter has her boyfriend, and then she has 2 kids. To put 8 people, 7 of them adults, in the same house or apartment, and try to respect boundaries and respect other people's feelings and needs, man, it gets hard. And everybody's on different schedules, and everybody's different. Woo, it's hard, I gotta tell you. So every day I have to work at it, and some days work better than others. And I'm sure you have situations where, if you're at work, there's people that you don't like. There's people that push your buttons. Every time you try to work as a team, there's always going to be a weak link. There's always going to be somebody that doesn't want to pull their weight, doesn't want to do their job, doesn't show up on time, doesn't do their part of the work. It's always something. You come home, you have children to deal with, you have a husband or a wife, boyfriend, girlfriend. They had a different kind of day than you. Maybe you had a really good day and they had a really crappy day, so they're in a different mood. Let me tell you, it's really hard. But once you start doing it and you see how much it changes things, and let's all be honest, everybody wants to be in control. I don't know why that's such a natural thing for people, but it is. And when you find out that you are actually in control of your own life, wow, it's really nice to be able to say, I consciously decided I'm not going to argue and fight with that person. At first, you have feelings like, they don't understand how I feel. They don't understand why I'm doing this, or why I want to do this, or why I don't want them to do this, or why that aggravates me. And you're thinking they didn't hear me. They didn't hear anything that I have to say. It hasn't changed the situation. Well, sometimes you just have to say, there's nothing I can do about it. They're not going to listen. They're not going to change, or they just simply don't care. They don't care if blasting the TV in the living room interrupts what I'm doing. If I'm trying to meditate or whatever, they simply don't care. But then you have to look at it from the other point of view of screaming and yelling and arguing really wouldn't have changed anything, because if they're not going to do anything about it and they don't care how it affects you, or that it bothers you, or they don't care how you feel, screaming and yelling and arguing still isn't going to change anything, and you're still going to have the same result. Then you get all upset, you're mad, you're angry, your mood is ruined for the evening. Sometimes you just have to walk away and just say, I can't control them, there's nothing I can do about them, but I'm not going to allow them to ruin my evening, ruin my mood, ruin how I enjoy my evening, or push my buttons. Sometimes the best revenge, sometimes the best way to handle things is just to ignore them, because it's kind of a win-win situation too, because you didn't listen to them, you didn't listen to what they had to say or what they wanted you to hear, and they still know that they're irritating you and that it's bothered you. So really nobody won, but at least you're in control of you, if that makes any sense at all. I've also discovered that a lot of things that we try to change, we don't need to change. Because if you're spiritual at all, you already know that spirit, the angels, the universe, God, they're in control. They know better than us. They see the bigger picture. They know all the facts, and they know what needs to happen. And sometimes it is not what you want to happen. And I used to get so frustrated. I'm like, why doesn't anything ever go the way I want it to? Why can't I get what I want? Why can't I have what I want? Why couldn't this happen the way I wanted it to happen? Why didn't this happen? I wanted it yesterday. Why didn't it happen yesterday? Why do I have to wait till next week? Well, because as they say, it wasn't in divine timing. It wasn't the right time for it to happen. And that's another thing you really don't have any control over. So to get all upset and get all mad because you're not getting your way, or you're not getting what you want, or it's not happening when you want or how you want it, or the end result didn't play out like you wanted it to, sometimes it's best that it doesn't. The universe, higher power, spirit, God, whatever you want to call it, they know a lot better than us. They can see everything, and they make the best decision. And they usually have a lot more information than us, and they usually do a lot better at deciding, what should work and how it should work. And it's also about learning lessons. We're all here on this earth to learn lessons, to learn things. And they want to make sure that even though you go through a bad time, or you go through something really difficult, or, life gets hard or difficult, whatever, it's for you to learn a lesson or to make you a better person, to prepare you for later on. And those are things that I didn't know anything about, and I'm sure a lot of people don't. So all these things come into play. These are all things that I've learned. But let's get back to the subject. To go back to the analogy of a full cup of water, a full glass of water. It's negative energy. It's full of negative energy. Not only the negative energy from you, your thoughts, your words, your feelings, but all the other negative energy that you've picked up from everyone else and everywhere else that you've been. So you meditate to get rid of all the negative and bring in the positive. Because you have to get rid of the negative to make room for the positive. It's just like a glass of water. It can only hold so much. And when it gets full of negative, there is no room for positive. So you have to meditate, breathe, get rid of all the negative until that glass is empty so it can fill up with positive. Once you're filled with positive thoughts, positive mindset, you are expressing positive emotions, you're using positive words, you raise your level of consciousness. When you raise your level of consciousness, then everything falls into place. All the positive, all the good comes into play. And then you're able to manifest all the things that you want. Again, think of it as a game. This is a game that you have to play that you want to win. You can think of it as, it's a game against me and the world, me and the universe. You can think of it as a video game. However you want to think of it, it is a game that you play that you want to win. And then you say, well, what if I don't want to play? Well, then you can just sit back and your life just goes however it goes. But if you want to have some control and you want things to change, you want life to get better, you want to be happier, you want to have a happier life, live in a positive, happy atmosphere, be at peace, have the things that you want, that's the way to get it. There's other ways to get it, but believe me, as someone said, I was watching a video the other day on YouTube, this lady that goes around and she does guest speaking. She said, you may not think this is the best way, but I guarantee you it's the easiest. It's the fastest and the easiest. Okay, so you want to control your thoughts, your words, your judgments, and your mindset. The other thing that you have to learn is you cannot be judgmental of other people. You don't know what they're going through. You don't know who they are, what they're going through, what their life is about, what their journey is about. You don't know. It isn't your place to judge. It's real easy because we grow up in a society where everybody competes and everybody wants to be better. And to compete, you're always taught, you have to be better, which means someone else less than you. Okay, this throws all that out the window. You don't judge people. You don't judge the way they dress, the way they look, the way they talk, the way they do things. You just have to look at them as a whole being that's doing the very best that they can. You don't know where they are in their journey. You don't know what the universe is doing with them or working with them or where they are in their journey. And so it is not your place to judge. And when you judge, that's a negative energy and that just hurts you. That hurts your journey. It hurts where you're going and where you're trying to get to and what is coming to you. So, no gossiping. That's another thing. You cannot gossip. It's not your business what other people do. And believe me, it has been hard to not judge people in my own house. To judge what my kids do and what they don't do or how they do it is completely different from the way that I do things. And, I grew up in a different generation. But you have to learn not to judge other people, not to gossip about other people, not to complain. That's another thing. Trying not to complain when, nobody does the dishes and the sink is full of dishes, or nobody puts anything away. There's crap all over the counter in the kitchen, or there's dirty dishes everywhere. Or the living room, everybody's shoes are strung everywhere, and the bathroom's a mess because everybody's hair stuff is out, and my son is shaved, and there's hair in the sink. It's very difficult to do. As I told you, it's the hardest thing I've ever done. But I cannot tell you how gratifying it is once you get it down. Do it for the first 60 days, and before you know it, it's natural, and you won't believe the changes you'll see in life. It didn't take me 60 days to start seeing the benefits and start reaping the benefits of that. But it is a conscious choice you have to make every day. You have to get up in the morning and say, okay, I'm going to be positive. I'm going to be a positive person. I'm going to have a positive mindset. I just pretend it's a video game. Everybody else in the world is just in a video game. I don't know them. I don't care anything about them. I don't know what their journey is. I don't know what they're doing. It isn't my business. It isn't my business to lay judgment, complain, gossip, whatever. I just pretend they're just automatic robots in a video game. I'm just doing me, doing my life, and doing what I need to do to get where I need to get and get the things that I want. And, the rest of them, it's their business. Now, it's also difficult when you're involved with somebody, you're in a relationship or you're married or, you have a roommate. I know it's all hard. I know it's difficult. But this is something that, you need to learn about. And there are books out there. You can read them, which I have read them. I don't have any of the books in front of me, the titles or the people that wrote them, but Amazon has a huge selection of books about these kind of things, and it will explain it in much more depth, much more detail than what I'm telling you. I'm giving you the short version. I'm just showing you how to do it quick, easy, fast to get where you need to be. Manifest that new car, manifest that new house, that vacation, that better apartment, better job, better salary, whatever. I think most people are like, I don't need to hear all the details. Just tell me what to do and how to get there. So that's what I'm doing today. Okay. So every morning, it would be good if you could get up early enough to just meditate, because it clears your mind and gets your mind in a place where you have a positive mindset, and you can kind of talk to yourself and say, okay, today I'm not going to be negative. I'm not going to let anybody push my buttons. I don't care what anyone else does. I don't care what what kind of day they're having, or what their mindset is, or if they're in a good mood or a bad mood, whatever it is, it doesn't affect me. It also helps to take all the negative people and situations out of your life. I know that's easier said than done, because you can't always do that. I'm in a situation where I can't do that right now either. But you want to take out, if you have negative friends, negative family, negative whatever, if you can, get everything and everyone that's negative out of your life. If you can't get them out of your life, try to stay away from them. Try to avoid them. Try to have as little interaction as you have to with them, so that it makes it easier. And then just avoid negative situations. When somebody starts to be negative, when you see somebody that starts to complain or starts to nag, or you can just see they want to start something with you, just walk away. Just ignore them. It's a situation you can't win. It's a game, and you're not willing to lose points because of that person. This is a game you want to win, like a video game, and you avoid whatever is going to cost you points, because it's just going to take you longer on your journey to get where you need to go. Okay, so you talk to yourself, you set your mind and your mindset for the day, and then you just have to remind yourself as the day goes, I'm going to be positive. I'm going to do the very best that I can do, be the very best that I can be. And then, the rest just falls to the wayside. When you get home, you may have kids, you have to deal with them, you have a husband, you have to fix dinner. But boy, any way that you can get some meditation in there, if it's riding the bus on the way home or riding the train or if you carpool or whatever, Lord, put your earbuds in, put a meditation on, and I'm going to put a couple of my favorites down below the video, and some quiet, relaxing background music, and just close your eyes and just empty your mind. Again, go back to my third video called meditation. If you don't know about meditation, or you don't know how to do it, or you have difficulty doing it, watch my video. I explain all that. Find a video that, walks you through it, or speaks to you, or has the right background noise or sounds or music that you like, and just close your eyes and flush all that negativity out of the day. All that stuff that you ignored, all that stuff that you didn't deal with, all that stuff that's in the back of your head or you just pushed way down, go ahead and start emptying that glass. That may not be full, but it's got negativity in it. So the sooner the better. Flush out that negativity. Flush out that negativity, bring in the positive. And believe me, your roommate, your kids, your spouse, your boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, they'll be so grateful, because now you've emptied all that negative, and then you come home and you're positive again. Or, it doesn't take you an hour or two after you get home to get back in a good mood where you're happy and you want to spend time with your kids or your spouse, your boyfriend, girlfriend, roommate, or you just are ready to sit down and relax. Boy, it cuts that time down, and you can go home and you have more positive time, more relaxation time, more of what you want. Plus you're relaxed and it's a lot easier to go to sleep. But the point here is to try to keep it positive at all times, and not to worry about anybody else, and not let them draw you into their negativity, their situation, their gossip, their judging other people, talking about other people. And it's hard because, you can look at somebody and, you may immediately start to think, oh my Lord, what are they wearing? What is that they have on her? Oh my Lord, what did she do to her hair? You have to stop. It doesn't matter. It's just part of the game. Those are just images there to distract you. That's how I look at it. It's just an image to distract me and take points away from me winning. Nope, don't care. They can do whatever they want with their hair, whatever they want to wear. It's not my business. It's just a video game, and I'm doing my part. Don't care. You have to remember positivity at all times. No negativity. Once you start becoming positive, keeping a positive mindset, you're going to have less anger, less stress, less resentment, less, high blood pressure, everything. You will stop stress eating. You eat when you're stressed, or you eat when you're unhappy. You won't smoke as much. You won't drink as much. You won't get high as much. It's really, you're going to start changing the way you do things, and you're going to find you're healthier, you're happier. Think of all the money that you could save. Not doing drugs, not doing alcohol, not smoking, not, binge eating and buying all that crap. Think of all that extra money. There's a benefit right there. Plus, you're not doing negative things to your body. You're not beating up your body and doing all those negative things. You're really flushing your body emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically, everything. In every way, you're going to benefit. Okay, another thing that you need to learn is you have to be accountable for everything you think, you say, your thoughts, your words, your mindset. You have to be accountable for everything that you say, that you do, that you think. You are responsible for you. Anything that you do, you have to be accountable, and you have to be responsible for. We're all adults. And there's going to be days, like I said, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be hard. That at the end of the day, you just have to say, well, I'm going to do better tomorrow. I wish I wouldn't have done this. I wish I wouldn't have said that. Oh, I really had to catch myself when I did. I know you're a work in progress. I'm a work in progress. We all are. And as I said, some days are better than others. But be accountable. for yourself and your actions and your thoughts. Because at the end of the day, the universe holds you accountable for everything. And you just try to do better every day until you finally get it down to where it just comes natural. It just comes naturally to you to act that way, think that way, be a happier person, be a better person, and let all of that negativity out of your life. I mean, you won't believe how much of a change it makes and how different your life is, how different your life will be. And then when all that positive kicks in, you know, you win the video game and the universe says, okay, you've done everything that we've asked you to do. You've worked really hard at this and you've put in a lot of time and effort. You know, now we're going to reward you. You won't believe how that better job, that raise, that better opportunity, that promotion, how suddenly those kind of things just happen. You know, you get a raise, you make better money, you get a better job, you get promoted. Next thing you know, you can afford a better car, you can afford a nicer house, you can afford better vacations. Next thing you know, everything just falls into place and one thing just leads to another. And before you know it, you're living the life that you wanted to live. You've manifested all of those things that you wanted. And you do that when you meditate too. You can say it out loud or you can think it in your head, you know. I want to manifest this. I want this and I want that. I want this to happen. You know, in your meditations, in your thought, you just say, you know, universe, spirit, my higher power, whoever you want to speak to, God, these are the things that I want. These are the things that I want to accomplish. This is the life that I want. This is the life I want to lead. This is the person I want to be. You know, please help me get there and help bring those things into my life. I'm willing to put in the work. I'm willing to put in the time. I'm doing what you're asking me to do. You know, please reward me for the time and effort that I'm putting in and the work that I'm doing. And it will happen, I promise you. It will all fall into place. Another thing that you need to get control of and get rid of in your life is blaming other people. When things go wrong, when things don't go the way you want them to. You know, if you're at work and you're on a project and there's a team of you working on something, somebody else didn't, you know, one of the team members didn't do their work, didn't meet the deadline, or the work that they did was so shabby and, you know, so low quality. That's all right. You don't blame anybody. You just say, you know what? It's the universe. Everything happens for a reason. I am not in control of them. I'm not in control of them or what they do, even though they're on my team and it affects all of us. All I can do is do the best that I can do my part to the best of my ability, be the best employee and the best worker that I can be. And just, you know, whatever happens, happens. Everything happens for a reason. You can only control yourself. As long as you do what you're supposed to do, the universe knows that. And they know when they're not doing what they're supposed to. And you're thinking, you know, now we're all going to look bad. Now we're all going to suffer. No, that part of it is left to the universe. Just let all that go. No blaming. Just as long as you've done what you need to do, the universe will handle everything else. There's such a thing as karma. And believe me, it's going to catch up with them and they'll pay for it. The universe knows when you're working hard and you're doing what you're supposed to do. Leave the rest of it to the universe, to God to handle, and just worry about you. As my kids say, stay in your lane. Anyway, this is the first part of a 2-part series on how to manifest all the things that you want and how to be happy. The next video will be part 2, and I'm going to show you ways to put all of this into action. How to help you get where you need to be and accomplish all these things that I've talked about. I'm going to give you some more information and show you some things that's going to help you to get there. So watch part 2. That's my next video. It should be coming out in the next couple of days. That will help you get where you need to be and accomplish everything that you want to accomplish. Because I want you to be the happiest person that you can be. Manifest all your dreams, all your hopes, everything that you want. And just have the life that you want to live. We all do. And I'm going to help you get there. My name's Jan. I'm with Dreams in Color. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for coming and watching my video and giving me your time. And, you know, I know it's hard to take out time away from everything else that you have to do, but I really appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe. Like my video if you liked it. Subscribe and come back, and we'll see you in a couple of days. Thanks. Bye-bye.